The Nexus Pro is one of my favorite blasters of all time, and no one expected it, but there are now 2 new versions of the Nexus Pro. It now comes in gold, and it also comes in purple camo. Is this even a big deal? Do you need to buy any of these reskins? They look cool, but there's a catch.
And we'll talk about how that could affect your decision later on in this video.
When you look at both of these reskins, their box packaging is practically identical to the original Nexus Pro. They don't even indicate that this is a reskin.
I feel like it was a missed opportunity to not have the boxes also reflect the wild personalities of these premium limited edition reskins.
Just from initial looks, same Adventure Force Pro darts, and the same mags as well. I think it's the paint here, but it's a little harder to push in and push out the stock, but not a big deal. The original Nexus Pro had this exact same thing where the handle's kind of loose. Let's unbox this boy now. Dang, that's so cool. I love how the light just bounces off this thing. All the boys are here. Oh ho ho ho, that is sweet.
Now you may not care about the story behind these Nexus Pros, but you should because of the strange ways they were discovered. On June 10th, 2021, Foam from Above dropped a video showcasing the Midas Touch Nexus Pro. Just out of nowhere, Adventure Force sent him this amazing reskin. Both him and I aren't 100% sure, but I'm thinking that this was the very first documented case of this blaster's existence. The story takes a weird turn from here. After he saw that video, Ri-Fi Channel, another Nerf TikTok creator, reached out to Adventure Force seeking more info, and instead of info, Adventure Force sent him a mysterious package. Well, to everyone's surprise, that turned out to be another Nexus Pro reskin, which he then posted on TikTok on June 30th, and in a review video 10 days later. Some other person leaked a photo of this blaster before that, and during this time, I really thought this Nexus Pro was a fake made to look like an official Adventure Force product. Funny enough, even Ri-Fi Channel didn't know what he had. They gave him the blaster, but Adventure Force never told him the name of it. Even today, the names are kinda confusing, so that's why you've heard me call them different things by mistake. Sorry about that. It wasn't until July 28th that Dart Zone finally let the darts out of the bag and officially announced both limited edition reskins and their Walmart.com exclusivity. And about 2 weeks later, their listings went live. To me, it's interesting and kinda neat how Adventure Force kept their lips shut for so long and just let the creators be the first messengers of the Midas Touch and Urban Camo.
Back here I have the golden X-Shot Orbit, which was given to X-Shot influencers. We can see that the gold quality is different compared to this Nexus Pro. The gold here seems to be a little more punchy, a little bit more yellow. The gold on this Nexus Pro has a lot of little bumps and imperfections, which catches the light in interesting ways.
When first seen, the Urban Camo was the talk of the town. Blaster brands don't tend to lean towards bold designs with this much flair, so this was a special reskin in my opinion. I thought that these color variants would operate identically to the original, but that might not be the case. Let's check it out.
Here we got the red Dart Zone Max Pro darts. Let's pop it in and see if it performs like a Nexus. Yep, that's a Nexus Pro if I've ever seen one. And let's give this one a try as well. I noticed with the purple and the gold Nexus Pros, they don't perform as smoothly as the original orange Nexus Pro right here. When using this blaster, it's a lot easier to pull back and push forward the priming handle, and the trigger feels a little more floaty. It's easier to pull it to fire the dart. The priming action, the trigger pull for these guys, not as smooth as the original. Maybe this is because these are brand new blasters, or maybe it's specific to the 2 copies I have here. Or maybe in fact the original mold of the Nexus Pro is just better made than these ones.
If you have one of these reskins and are experiencing the same issues, let me know in the comments, I'm curious. While you're at it, consider subscribing if you're having a good time. Going over average initial velocity results, strangely enough the included half-length and standard length darts were both getting around the same values, around 140 feet per second for both the Midas Touch and Urban Camo. When testing out the Dart Zone Pro Max darts, all 3 Nexus Pro versions were getting above 150 FPS. Pretty sweet. Which Nexus Pro should you buy?
By buying one of these reskinned Nexus Pros, you're not getting any sort of improvement in terms of performance. It's all within the aesthetics. The one big issue behind these reskins is that they're not of equal price compared to the original. The purple camo one is $10 more compared to the original one.
But things take an expensive turn with the Midas Touch, which retails for $70 USD.
Now mind you, that's still not a bad price considering what you're getting in the package, but relative to what you're getting here with the original, that's quite the price hike. These companies are essentially taking the same core blaster, putting a new skin on it, and just profiting more off of it.
But unlike some of the shameless blaster repaints we've seen in the past, these two Nexus Pros are limited edition, online exclusives, and have very unique patterns that are quite difficult to replicate by hand.
I think I would die before I'd be able to replicate anything to this extent.
This all culminates into more elusive products that may justify the increased retail prices. Just recently, the Nexus Pro reskins also hit Walmart.ca, so fellow Canadians can enjoy them, but of course at those higher Canadian currency price points.
To me, having a really nice paint job is a bonus, but if I have to pay $20 more, I would probably still stick with my orange Nexus Pro.
If you feel the same way and just want the version with the best performance and the best price without the head-turning designs, you can never go wrong with the classic. Now imagine if a Nexus Pro was semi plus fully automatic. That's kinda what the Dart Zone Pro Mark III is, and you can check out my review of it on the left. Consider subscribing for more fun Nerf content. Thanks for watching, hope you do something great today, and get that bread.